Welcome to Mamela podcast with myself, Chicago. Today I'm joined with Chuck the gangster in the industry.
That's good.
The man who knows the ins and outs of the industry.
Let's go.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Have you?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So, after so many horror stories that are happening in the industry, from famous musicians, independent musicians, artists, there's a lot of drama there. And I think it boils down to copyright.
Yeah.
Take us through. What is copyright?
Copyright is basically the rights that a creative or somebody who's producing something, it's basically the rights that they have in ownership of that piece of artwork.
Yeah.
If we put it in a simple way.
Yeah.
So in the world of creativity, because we're creating something from nothing, we have to find a way of somebody claiming the ownership of that piece of copy.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, so that's basically what copyright is. So if we're taking it into the music industry, when you make music generates certain copyrights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, when a piece of music is being made, there are two copyrights that come into existence, which is copyright in composition and copyright in sound recording.
Yes.
Yeah. What is copyright in composition first, before we go?
Copyright in composition is basically the people who compose the music, like the writers who write the music. So the reason why it's called copyright in composition is because if you think about how music used to be made back in the day, they were writing music and shit music, and then they will give it to, not shit like shit, but shit music. They will give it to like players and people who play it like that. So that was the composition. Then once it's actually being put together and get recording, that's where we get the other composition, the other copyright.
Which is sound recording.
Sound recording, yes.
Yeah. And what is that? What is the sound recording?
So sound recording is once we take the composition and put it in a material form, that's when the composition arises.
Yeah.
So like now, you recording this podcast, you own the copyright into the sound recording because you're actually laying it down.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
So do you think people are aware? Do they know? Not people, like artists, musicians. Do they know these things, the copyrights, what goes into a song? When people get in the studio and they make music, do they know these things?
Some do, some don't. I'll say majority of them don't.
Yeah.
Even the ones who do know, they know the basics of it.
Yeah.
But most artists that I have encountered in the industry, they don't know.
True, facts.
Because I think because artists sometimes they just want to be artists, but it's like you can't be a businessman and not understand how the business
works.
Rules.
Yes.
If you say you want to sell chips,
you need to know the rules.
The rules that run how the chips get sold. So because the music industry has more entertainment and fame and all of these things, most artists don't feel like they need to know.
Yeah.
Because then record labels don't teach. Because they like, you don't need to know, we know for you.
I don't think also they need to teach them. I think it's your job also to teach yourself to know these things.
To be honest, I do agree with you, but at a certain point, I feel like it's a responsibility of, if I'm saying I'm signing you as an artist and you come into my record label, it's important for me to kind of like give you a little bit of how we make money. Okay. And that's teaching.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to generate money. These are the streams where we're going to find money from. You taking it further and actually doing the research, that's on you. Yeah. But the introduction of this is what it is, I feel like record labels should do that.
Yeah, because I also feel like there's a gap, between making money and fame.
Yes.
Of which everyone is going to fame.
Two different.
And they think about money later on.
For sure.
Yeah. Why is that? Why is there and it's mostly with artists, everybody wants fame,
I think because fame has this thing of looking like if you're famous, you're making money.
Oh.
So when people know you, they think that you're actually making money. So I think even artists feel like if I'm famous, that means by default, I'm going to be making money.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from. But for me, it's like, it's more important for me for the business side of things than the fame. Because I know a lot of artists who might not be famous the way people might think, who has more money than people who are more famous.
True.
Like I said, if you're walking into a building and you're saying, I'm here to sell a drink, coffee, and they go, yo, your coffee is going to be the most known coffee in the world. Your brain already assumes that if it's the most known coffee in the world, that means I'm going to be making money.
True.
But they didn't tell you that they're going to be giving you 1% of a royalty on each and every bottle of coffee you're selling. You are a poster boy for that coffee. So, yeah.
And then also, Mr. Chuck, there's this excitement that goes in with artists that I'm signed, or maybe I'm about to get signed.
For sure.
What's that excitement about? Do they really know what goes into that signing of them, especially those 360 deals, no distribution or anything?
I think the excitement is the fact that, again, like I said, if you tell an artist I'm getting signed, they already assume that they're gonna be making money, and they're gonna be famous because somebody believes in them. I think the first excitement is just that somebody believes in my music and they're willing to help.
Yeah.
The other thing is just the assumption of like we're gonna make money. You know, I say assumption because if
make
you don't
money
understand,
for them, not for you.
Well, if you know what you're doing, you can make money both ways.
True.
You know, if you know what you're doing, you can make money both ways. If you don't know what you're doing, of course, it might seem like you're making money. They might give you a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know artists who get given a lot of money, but then there's another thing in there that it's a loan.
Yeah.
You know, so again, if you go to a person who's staying in Mpumalanga in a village or Limpopo in a village and say to them, I'm going to give you 200,000 for 3 albums, they've never seen 200,000 in their life.
And that time you broke?
Yeah, they're going to take it, you know, and not understanding that 200,000 is actually a loan sometimes. Yes. So the excitement is like, yo, who wouldn't be excited if somebody says they believe in your talent?
And I believe those things have been put on a contract.
Yes.
That you sign.
Yes.
But yet you sign it as an artist, not knowing what you're signing for.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you do sign and you don't know what you're signing and you didn't get your lawyers involved and everything, the onus is on you as an artist.
Let's talk about it. How important is it to have a lawyer as a musician, as an artist?
The most important thing, I have a lawyer for a lawyer.
Yeah.
I don't only trust one lawyer.
Yeah.
It's like having an accountant for an accountant. I don't really trust only one accountant.
Yeah. You rather have two.
They can rob.
They will deal with each other.
They can push and pull each other. So I check the other lawyer with the other lawyer and check the other lawyer with the other lawyer. They don't know I do that.
So it's very crucial to have a lawyer as an artist.
For sure. For sure. And it might seem to other artists who are saying, they'll be like, yo, but lawyers are expensive. They are not. What you need to do is what I did. Was I went to UJ.
Yeah.
I went to VETS. I went to the University of Pretoria. I hanged around the law faculty.
Yeah.
I wanted to find young guys who are learning copyright law.
Yeah.
Who are still at school, who are excited. And then I just approached them. I'm like, yo, I am an artist. I run a record label. I would like you to help me with reading contracts. You know, it can be part of your school. I can't pay right now, but if there's deals that are come to you that are paying, you get a percentage from that deal.
Yeah.
So if Universal says they're giving us 500,000, you get 10% of that.
Yeah, facts.
If you negotiate that deal.
Guys, I hope you're learning. Take these notes. And then also you talked about earlier when you talked about copyright in composition and everything. Yeah. How do you reduce your composition to, what are the ways or strategies to reduce your composition into material form? To prove that, you know what, this is mine. Nobody owns it.
Nowadays, there's a lot of things you can do, right? I mean, you guys, most of you, if you are a technical person, you understand something called metadata.
Yeah.
Metadata is something that every song has. When you export a song on Fruity Loops or Logic or whatever it is, you can put an ID3 tag.
Yeah.
That includes a date. You can have a date. You can even put a comment there.
Yeah.
That is a proof that's the first thing that you can use as like proof that I own this, because that says you did it in this day.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is things like Google Drive. As soon as you export a song, put it on a Google Drive, it has a timestamp.
Yeah.
Show that it's yours. You know. Other thing is just making contracts and making people sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making people
and
sign.
Then also there's this situation where when a producer invites you
to
their studio.
For sure.
in that situation, you're a vocalist, I'm a producer, and we make a song. That time we don't know if it's a hit or not.
For sure.
But obviously we need to talk first because late is too late.
For sure.
We need to break down who did what.
Definitely.
So if I invite you to my studio to say, yo, Mr. Chuck, come to the studio, let's pen down something, let's put a song together. Yes. Who owns what there?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. So by law, if you invite me to your studio and we make a song, we record a song, you have the copyright in the
sound recording.
It's your studio we're using.
Yeah.
You know, unless I paid for the studio. You initiated the idea, which means even in the composition, you deserve a percentage.
Yeah.
Which might be 50% if I wrote the song. You check what I mean. But what I see a lot happening now is people just go on 50-50 deals, where we 50-50 on the composition, we 50-50 on the sound recording. Because you called me.
Do you think it's fair, though, that 50-50?
If you call me, I feel like it's fair.
Okay.
You know, you called me to come in the studio because you wanted my vocals.
Yeah.
We don't want to go through a lot of like back and forth when it comes to contracts and points. Because you can go the point system, which is where people get robbed. I don't know if you guys have heard of the point system where producers get points and writers get points and session musicians get points. That's how you get robbed most of the time.
Which is complicated.
It's a little bit complicated because calculating that's where you get robbed most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think the new age guys, if we work together, I put in my effort in making the song, you put in your effort, you call me to your studio, we go 50-50 on everything. If it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we add other people, it can be everybody's getting the same percentage.
Yeah.
Even a person who just added a hi-hat.
Also, do you also feel, or maybe do you think that artists, musicians, do they understand these distinctions?
No. Most of them don't.
It's all about vibes. Let's get in the studio.
Yeah, I understand it. You know, it's we're in a creative industry. When you start putting contracts and
we don't want
teaching,
yeah,
you lose the creativity. So that's why a lot of people don't sign the contracts before they get in the studio, because it can kill the vibe. But it's important. So that's why having managers is important.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
I want us to go to studio. Your manager should contact my manager in their own time, deal with that, and trust that they're going to do it right.
Yeah.
We go and make music.
I like the fact that you're saying trust.
Yes.
Because also you cannot trust the manager.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
You know, especially when you see, actually I was so surprised when we talked about, when I heard the story of R. Kelly, that he can't read, he can't write.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, he doesn't know where his money is coming in or not. Like, he knows he has money.
Yes.
You know, but he doesn't know where it's coming from, what's left there and everything, you know. So, and actually that's how you get screwed in the industry.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's very important to know those things, your business basically.
Yeah, you wouldn't hire a manager in a business that you don't trust.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hire a managing director of a business you don't trust. And even if you have a managing director and you're still the CEO of the business, you need to be involved.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between the CEO and the manager. A lot of people tend to not understand it. Your manager is not your CEO. They work for you. You don't work for them. Managers have these things of trying to make artists feel like they're working for them.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
The manager works for you. You are the company. They report to you. They make sure things are good for you. So now, if you understand that, that means you still the main decision maker. They still have to come to you with everything.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, this is how it is. So that's where the trust thing comes in, where you trust that they're going to be making the deals for you, the right deals. They're not going and we're saying, oh, we need 50% of that song, and they go on the other side, they get 75, but then they keep the 75 to themselves.
Yeah.
Because they negotiated it.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you go and negotiate and end up with 75 from our side and you give me my 50 and you hold the 25. I just need to know that's what happened.
Yeah.
You check what I mean? Because it's business.
True.
You check what I mean? So trust is the biggest thing. That's why you find a lot of people make managers family or people they grew up with. There's a disadvantage to that. They might not even know the music industry how much.
Yeah.
They know it later because they're learning as they go, but then you miss some of the deals. Yes, of course, sometimes we learn through mistakes.
Yeah.
But having a manager managing a manager will be the go-to, but you might not have money to pay them. But most of the time, I like managers who are willing to be paid per commission of whatever they bring to the business.
Like more like if you get me a gig, this is what you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
every gig you get me, 5% is yours. Every endorsement you get me, every 10% is yours. Every live show that you get me, you get a percentage from that, because that's a trust thing. So that's why a lot of artists kind of like get robbed, because now there's a trust thing and it's a money thing. If you don't understand where your money is coming from as an artist, you get frustrated. Like, we're living in an age where it's not easy to make money in the industry as much as it's as easy as possible to make it, unless you know what's going on.
And also, you need to know a lot of streams that you can make money
sure.
in music. I think that's the point. Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
yeah.
You can go. I think that's the point that I was making earlier. That people are more focused on fame than the streams of making money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because there's so many ways.
Because the thing is, fame means making money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no one is comfortable with making money in the background. Like, you eat, nobody knows you, but everybody knows that you're doing music. But
because we want to brag, we want people to know that I'm the one.
If you are a signed artist on YouTube, you need to have, I think, about 4.2 million for you to start making 23,000 here in South Africa.
Yes.
If you are not signed, you need about 700,000. No streams, views or plays on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
I'm not gonna go to Spotify, because Spotify, I think they have their own numbers.
For sure.
Yeah. So streaming versus physical copies of which is CDs. As an artist, which one is more feasible at this moment, day and age?
Well, if you're talking about making money, physical, of course. If you're talking about creating a fan base, streaming, of course. So they both have their own advantage.
So you need to go both.
If we were still selling physical, so there was no stream, a lot of artists wouldn't be where they are. They wouldn't be known. Physicals takes a lot for you to get in front of people.
Yeah.
You need to be physically.
Yes.
People need to be physically buying the product.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about owning a copy of your favorite artist.
Because you coming from an artist perspective.
Yeah.
If you come from a consumer of music, they just want to listen to music. You check what I mean? So if you think about it, would Tyler be Tyler if we were still selling physical?
No,
because there was no trend.
Yeah.
You need to make dope music, and your music needs to be distributed that side.
Yeah.
Now, he can go and actually release a song. That song is in Afghanistan already. So somebody in Afghanistan can listen to that. He doesn't have to worry about territories and distribution. So that's the advantage of streaming.
Yeah.
That's the advantage of streaming.
Yeah.
The disadvantage is it doesn't pay as much. So, would I rather be an artist where in my region I'm selling 10,000 copies every month? Or would I rather be an artist that every month I'm getting 10 million streams? Personally, I'd rather be a guy where in my region I'm selling 10,000 copies physical.
Yeah.
Because if I'm selling 10,000 physical copies at $80, I'm making more money than a person doing 10 million streams in a month.
Yeah. And I just saw somewhere that on Spotify, you need, actually from next year, as an artist, you will need, I think 1,000 plays for you to start making money.
Spotify is broken.
Yeah.
Spotify is broken. Right now, Spotify is growing through the most. I get it. Spotify is owned by record labels.
And how does it work? Because as an artist, independent artist, who are you competing against there? Like, how do you break that? When
if you're an independent artist and you're focusing on Spotify, you're playing yourself. You're playing yourself. I'm not saying don't put your music on Spotify, but it shouldn't be your focus.
It shouldn't be.
Nah. Spotify is owned by record labels, first of all.
Yeah.
They bought Spotify so that they can put their own artists forward.
Yeah.
So if you're an independent artist on Spotify, you're fighting for the spot where you're fighting for actually a piece of the pie where you're fighting with people like The Weeknd, Taylor Swift,
Drake,
Kanye, Eminem. These are billion streams in a year. So Spotify goes and looks at all the money they've made.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, out of this money, we're going to distribute it based on who has the highest streams. So on the same pie that's on the table, you share in. It doesn't matter who listens to your music. It just matters the number.
Yeah.
So if your number is like 5,000 a month compared to Taylor Swift, which is 100 million a month, a week.
Yeah.
It's the same pie. Right? And they're giving you 0.0004 per stream.
Damn.
You're getting 4,000 streams. That's not even close to $1.
Yeah.
So you actually playing yourself.
So basically, you need to balance it with physical copies at your own right. These two things need to balance.
Yes.
You know, streaming and physical copies.
Yes.
So you're saying that artists, musicians, they can still print CDs and go out there to the people and sell directly,
Well,
like the old school ways.
I don't think CDs. I look at it differently.
Yeah.
CDs,
Because also there's a resurgence of vinyls now.
vinyl, yes.
Yeah.
Vinyl is a piece of art right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
CDs,
No.
so when you come to selling, you can still sell a digital product
Yeah.
that is kind of like a CD, but it's a digital product. So what I do is I understand that my fan base is a lot of people who are not Wi-Fi every day.
Yeah.
They still want to have their music on their phone, offline, to be able to go to a mountain and play the music without having to connect to the
We're
internet.
talking about downloads there.
Downloads.
Of which are dead. Kind of.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
Okay.
People want you to believe they're dead.
Okay.
Downloads are not dead. That's
Not
why
people. I think record labels, they want
yeah,
us
that's
to
why
believe.
Fakaza still survives.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at people's phones, you will see most of the music doesn't really come from the official websites.
Yeah.
Download is still striving.
Yeah.
Artists are made to not think that so that they can rely on streaming.
Oh, yeah.
So what I do, I provide you with my own download that you pay for.
Is it from your website or from
Yeah,
you just
from
can
a website.
create? Yeah.
Create a website, create a pay heap.
Yeah.
You know, pay heap is basically a place where you can go and sell digital projects. You
Yeah.
can sell books. You can sell whatever you want. PDFs, whatever. So what happens is, remember I was talking about creating a fan base?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have a fan base of people that I've been creating in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Streeting. So every time when I release an EP, I go, the EP costs $50. You can still get the EP for free. I can
Yeah.
send you the EP for
Yeah.
free. You're not buying it because you want to have a physical or something. You're buying it because that's the best way to support.
Yeah.
Because I taught my fans to be like, yo, if you go to Spotify and stream me, you're just putting me in the same basket as Drake.
Yeah.
I ain't getting nothing. I told them this. I keep on preaching on my Facebook and all of these things. I say these things. So these people know that because I'm being honest with them, and I show them statements. I'll show them what I'm getting from DistroKid. I have now probably getting close to 2 million streams across all platforms.
Wow.
I show them statements. Yeah,
That's
you
big.
see, you say, wow.
Yeah.
It's not a wow.
But
It's
then,
bombo clap.
yeah.
Because I don't
It's
even have
something.
2 million in my bank account.
Exactly.
You check
But
what I
it's
mean?
wild
Not even
because-
half of that.
Yeah.
You check what I mean? But I have 1 million. If I go and post this now and be like, yo, 2 million streams from across platforms, I'm getting people, congratulations. Yo, that's fire, that's fire. But there's no money being made.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying that you need to have loyal fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
the age
That's the age.
we're living in right now.
Create a niche market. Not
Yeah.
a niche market. Niche. Yeah, it is a niche
Yeah,
market.
it's a niche market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can have your loyal fans.
For sure.
And then you can you also do stuff like crowdfunding there?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're loyal fans.
For sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, once a person becomes your fan and they love your music, you don't have to remind them all the time. They know that they love your music. They're going to always, sometimes they're going to actually remind you, like, right now, what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
December is coming. I'm going home. So everybody's calling, yo, what are the releases? What's new? What's coming up? You know, we want to buy. People in December like spending. You check what I mean?
And
so, yeah.
that serves as some sort of inspiration because
sure.
people are pushing you to say, bruh,
so I
we need
focus on
something."
those.
Yeah.
I don't focus on the media trying to catch me or me being famous. It's not important for me.
Yeah.
What is important for me is to be able to maintain my career and be able to make music and still be able to buy bread.
True.
If you do your maths, 500 people buying my EP at $50. How much is that?
20,000.
That's 400 people who bought an EP at $50. That's how much? 20K. How many streams do you need for you to make 20K?
Okay, if you sign, you need about 4 million on YouTube. On Spotify, you need about 1 million.
How many people are getting 1 million?
Yeah.
Independently.
Yeah. If you're independent, I think you need.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have 400 people that I trust that if I go to them and I say I want $50,
Yeah.
without a doubt, they're going to give me today.
Yeah.
That's my EP, my last EP count to. So many are sold.
Yeah.
That's 20K. Sitting at home, chilling, making music.
Compared to you frustrating yourself with competing with whom? like
I don't.
Gabza and
I don't.
Drake and
I don't think.
You see these
way.
guys, the streams are big, but the news are like they.
Yeah.
And it kind of like frustrates you as an artist. Like, why am I not getting those? So, but then when you focus on your own niche market, you do more.
Yeah, I believe I have my own pie. I don't worry about other people's pies.
Yeah.
I don't want to be famous. It's a weird thing to say as an artist, right? I feel like for me, being famous is just being in front of people's eyes.
Yeah.
I want my music to be famous.
True.
Not me. That's why we have alter egos.
Yeah.
Chuck is a people's person.
Yeah.
Tompo is me.
Yeah.
There's a differentiation.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose myself in that.
Two characters.
Yeah. So for me, my music, it's weird, right? When I look at my stats, my biggest country always, every month, Nigeria, Canada, US, UK. South Africa is always hovering at number 6, number 7.
Yeah.
In terms of people who listen to my music. And those people really listen to my music. So, when you're talking about streaming, my favorite streaming service is Audio Mac.
Okay.
Pays more. I don't pay to get my music on it. And Audio Mac is still putting your music as a new artist in front of new people. Spotify doesn't do that.
Is Audio Mac also like Bandcamp? Or they kind of like different?
Kind of like similar, but what I like about Audio Mac is like it's like a rebel streaming service because it's owned by artists.
Oh yeah.
So they want to give back to artists. So on Audio Mac, a person who doesn't even know you can listen to your song today because they found it and they can actually give you money. 15 rand, 14 rand as a thank you for the song, right? And you don't pay to be on there. And your music get put on other people's faces all the time when you release it. The more traction you get, the more they're putting it. They advertise your music, actually, basically, which you need to pay for on Spotify. You need to pay for on Apple Music. Actually, on Apple
Music, you need
it's
more like a middleman there.
Yeah, for sure. On Apple Music, it's more difficult. You need to go to the meetings. So I focus on Audio Mac. I make more money from Audio Mac than any others. I don't actually care about the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm concentrate on social media, Instagram, TikTok. They give me a lot of money because people put their music on the statuses.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money that's being generated there. I use YouTube not to make money. I use YouTube as an ad agency. I know everybody's on YouTube. Most people discover new music on YouTube. Then they go to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it is, YouTube. Yeah. But Audio Mac is my number one. I actually release exclusives on Audio Mac. And I've seen the growth. I've seen the money. I've seen the fan base from countries that I never thought my music would be played there. Yeah. There was a time where UK was number one, and I understood I was making a lot of like Afrobeat, traditional kind of like music. Yeah. They love it that side. You check what I mean. Yeah. These guys from Nigeria, actually, most of the time, they just send me messages. Yo, you need to come to Nigeria. They said your name is
about time. I think it's about time, man. You start touring there. You know the countries now.
I do. I would tour. The thing is now, you need a little bit of more funds to be able to go tour. So we're looking for sponsors. But the problem with sponsors, again, they're looking for numbers on those streaming services that you looked at. Yeah. But it's fine because now what I have is, because of doing it for such a long time, I can show them consistency of like, yo, without being on those things, this is what I've been able to achieve.
I think sponsors in terms of your fans, basically.
For sure.
When you talk about crowdfunding, your fans can come through for you.
Yes,
basically.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's one thing that I will look at, and I advise a lot of artists to do that. Like I said, I look at ways to make. I love business. I love the business of music, not just making the music. It's fun. Yeah. But it requires you to understand what's going on. It's the wild, wild world. Yeah. Most of the things that we use as musicians to get our music out there are owned by the same record labels we don't want to get signed to. True. So if they see you bubbling and you're not part of them, they're going to block your stuff. Yeah. You check what I mean?
I think on that, there are so many things that we can talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
That people don't know, but then I think we're going to save it for another episode of this.
For sure.
But then On that note, guys, thank you. I think I just want to say this.
Yeah.
From my side, artists need to know these things. The business of the industry, they need to know how to market themselves.
For sure.
I think from your side, I don't know. Wow, what can you add there? Like business, you need to know the business. You need to know. You need to market yourself properly.
Yeah.
You need to know who you market also.
Oh, for sure.
Who you're selling.
I feel like for me, that one that you just said now
Marketing.
is number one. No.
Business.
Knowing who to market yourself to.
Yes. Yeah.
That's number one for me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's if you go put an ad out there and say, here I am, you're just throwing your bait in a pond full of sharks.
Yeah.
You don't know who. So market research. Who's listening to my music? Where are they listening to my music? What is the lifestyle of people who are listening to my music? How do I tap into that lifestyle of people listening to my music is important. You as a deep house guy, you wouldn't go and actually put yourself in front of hip-hop kids.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
True.
So I feel like commercialization of music does that. Where you want to sell Nasty C or you want to sell Blackie, sorry for mentioning people's names, but those are big artists in SA.
Yeah.
You want to sell them to everyone. So they start getting this shadow of like, who's this? The only people who can do that is people who cross over.
Yeah.
They're generalists.
Yeah.
KO has crossed over with Sete. Can be sold to anybody. Blackie is on the brink of crossing over.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Nasty C hasn't crossed over.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be mad with me. You know. So crossing over means that your music is no longer genre specific.
Yeah.
Anybody can play a song. You can find a white lady dancing to that song. You can find a rock guy dancing. Mandoza Nkalakata is a true definition of what crossing over is. If you don't know what I mean when I say crossover. K.O. Set is what crossover. Tyler Water is what crossover song is. Find everybody playing. Not only is being played, Aries is being played in the hip hop circles.
Only.
There's some deep house guys who don't really care what Aries has released the album. It's gonna piss off a lot of hip hop guys, right? Just like if I say Atmos Black to a lot of like hip hop guys, they'll be like, "Who the hell is that?" You check what I mean. Not saying that he's not a dope artist. It's just that they still serving the genre.
You're right. When you said that, I think the other day we were talking about 3-step, and a lot of guys were like, "What is 3-step?"
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because it's still a genre thing.
Yeah.
It's still only the house guys will understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
So if you think about, for example, Banner Boy.
Yeah.
Banner Boy is a crossover artist because if I go and say Last or Yeah or everybody relates to that song. That's why you can go to a festival which is black, white, Indian, colored, Brazilian, South African, and people will vibe. That's a crossover artist.
Yeah.
That artist now is no longer just making music as a genre. Yeah. That's a Drake. That's a Beyonce.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird that when I say this, people think that I'm saying that how big the artist is. Rick Ross is a big artist, but Rick Ross is not a crossover artist. It's a hip-hop artist. You check what I mean? True. There's people who listen to other genre. If you go to them and be like Rick Ross, they'll be like, who? You check what I mean? Of course, they know the boss. Because Rick Ross is just the boss, you know? But musically, Rick Ross is still hip-hop.
Yeah.
It's not crossover.
But then tell me, before we wrap this thing off, do you think people, especially in South Africa, they still create honest music? Honest music in terms of right now there's a Mapiano ship.
For sure.
Everybody wants to jump onto that. Of which most of artists were jumping onto that. They were doing something totally different. Sure. So what makes one want to jump onto the
trend?
The ship that is moving than creating honest music?
Well,
the music that relates to you and you wanna.
I have two ways about that.
Yeah.
I have two ways about that. I feel like there is artists who are loyalists
to their
like
sound.
You.
Yeah.
People like you. You are a loyalist to be like, yo, I'm a deep house. That's what I do. I love that.
Yeah.
Ronnie Deeps.
Yeah.
There's artists who are just musicians. People like me. I am generalist. Give me a deep house beat. You want me to climb? I'm still gonna bring me into it.
Of which brings a whole different flavor into it.
Am I gonna go and do a deep house album?
No.
Not really. You check what I mean. But I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So when my piano comes out and people are making my piano and I jump on one beat of my piano, I'm just expressing my artistry.
Yeah.
It ends there.
Yeah.
If somebody goes and changes and say that now I'm a piano artist and they're no longer a hip hop artist or anything, I don't really actually blame them. I feel like sometimes as an artist, you never know where you fit in. You might like being a hip hop artist, but that's not what you are.
You just see the boys.
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
The lifestyle catches you. You check what I mean. So I know a lot of people who are loyal to their genre. I feel like you don't know, as an artist, you don't owe anybody anything or an explanation of what you're doing. You're expressing yourself artistry. What I don't like is somebody looking at somebody and actually replicating that, and they don't bring their own flavor. That's a personal thing. I'm not saying that it's bad. That's just me looking at it. I don't like saying that things don't do that or this is not supposed to be done. I'm not that kind of person. I always view everything from my own perspective. I wouldn't personally do that. I wouldn't go and say, yo, now I'm a piano artist. Because again, like I said, I don't put genre in my music. Yeah. The genre that is my music is the genre that in my head, I have a name for it.
Yeah.
To people that I can explain it, is basically traditional, new age traditional music. Okay. It can be anything. Yeah. It can be reggae, it can be Afrobeat, it can be house.
Just traditional.
It's traditional. Yeah. All I do is just bring my tradition into it. I'm the tradition. The music can be anything. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the tradition. The music can be anything. So I don't see a problem with that because my piano is going to maintain. Just like hip hop, just like deep house, just like just like Afrobeat, just like Afro pop, and anything else. This funnel itself, it will do the wonders. Every genre when it comes through, when hip hop was becoming big in SA, everybody wanted to be a rapper.
So, but then like also tell me, do you think it's important though for artists to do honest music, not to jump?
What is honest music?
It's music that relates to you.
What if that is relating to them though?
Look, music that it relates to you, that is you, that is different, authentic, you know, music that when anybody hears it, like it's like, okay, wow, what is this? Yes. And also, I will ask you this question. Do you think people are receptive to new music these days? Or they're okay with my piano, like saying...
They are. The thing is, what you guys are looking at, like I said, when we started this conversation, the problem is we're looking at commercialization. Yeah. Commercialization is a small part of what it is. But commercialization has a bigger voice. Yeah. If radios are going, yo, the biggest thing is my piano, everybody goes, my piano is the biggest thing. But people are not understanding that Tequila Gang is full. Deep Town Josie is full. People are not understanding that the jazz clubs are still getting full. Yeah. The rock guys are still killing it. The Africans guys, just because commercially they're not talking about that, doesn't mean that that's not surviving.
I think that's what I'm talking about when I say honest music.
Cool, okay. Yeah. So if you're saying somebody's making music so that they can be in the limelight or be spoken about it, yes, there might be a problem with it, but I don't see the problem with it because I feel like even that is part of like finding yourself. Some of these artists is because they don't really know where they want to be. So when something new comes through, they want to experiment, and then they might experiment and it works. Look at a guy like Chico. Yeah. Chico is a brilliant rapper, but he kills it when he goes to my piano. If my piano had never happened, we wouldn't have known Chico.
Just like Focalistic.
Just like Focalistic. Yeah. Is Focalistic staying true to what he does right now?
No.
Why you say no?
Well, he's a hip-hop kid. That's what I know.
No, he was hip-hop because there was no Mapiano.
Yes,
but there is Mapiano now, and he's in the forefront of Mapiano, so we're not going to give him that just because he started with hip-hop. Yeah. You see where I'm coming from? Yeah. Burna Boy started by rapping. He was a rapper. Yeah, so we're not going to call him an Afrobeat now because now he started with that.
Reggae and raga, kind of reggae, kind of music.
Yeah, dancehall team.
Yeah, dancehall, yeah.
You see what I mean? Yeah. So now we're not gonna call him an Afrobeat just because now he started with raga.
Those are facts.
The thing is, we put artists in the box based on what you come out as. That's why I never wanted to come out and say I'm a rapper. That's why I never wanted to come out and say, because you guys put us in the box. You go, oh, you said you're a rapper. Why are you singing now? I'm an artist.
So basically, you don't need to put a title onto it.
No.
Onto yourself. As an artist, you don't put a title onto it.
We're living in a world where music is becoming genreless. Genres is what's killing our artistry. Yeah. Because now it's this against this. Yeah. It's deep house against this house. it's this hip hop against this hip hop.
Yeah.
Should it never be like this? I feel like music is so pure that we shouldn't be going through that. The reason why music is progressing is because you're finding guys like him who's going like, I love hip hop, but I like Afrobeat. So, but I like the UK style, but I like that. Okay, let me appreciate that I'm an artist. Am I lying? Then you come up with your own stuff, right? But then if you came out and told people I'm a rapper, once you start doing that, they're like, oh, you switched up. You didn't switch up. You found your lane.
Yeah.
You know, is everybody going to find, this is where I feel like you coming from this, is everybody going to make it? Nah. Not everybody's going to make it because there's other people who are doing it for their fame. To be known. So I feel like if you're making music from not anxiety, not for the numbers, not thinking about popping, you will pop.
True.
If you think about popping, you're going to try to find out what's popping everywhere else and try to do that. Then you do get lost.
Yeah, you get lost.
You do get lost.
Yeah.
So I do understand that. I understand where that is coming from. But at the end of the day, I am trying to be like artists shouldn't be put in a box. Because when we start putting artists in a box, we don't get the authenticity of like who they are musically.
Yeah.
Nasty C can sing. But Nasty C can't sing now. Because if Nasty C sings now, the whole hip-hop industry is going like, oh yeah, you're starting to sing now.
Yeah.
Remember what happened with AKA? When AKA started singing?
Yeah.
We said, oh, yo, no, you living hip-hop. When Kespa did the Amapiano joint.
Yeah.
No,
everybody in the whole
this
industry
number one song is an Amapiano song.
Yeah.
Standard Summing is his one number one song. So you're trying to tell me that if his number one song is an Amapiano song, even if it was a trend, he couldn't get a number one song when hip-hop was a trend.
True.
He couldn't.
Yeah.
You check what I mean? So I don't blame him. I'm going, it's music.
Music.
Nobody would have made that Standard Sam song. Only Kespa would have.
Yeah.
That's why we needed it.
Great.
Do you see what I mean?
Guys, I think we're going to wrap it off right here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check the Gangster, dope music, and make sure that you get your hands on it. Thank you.
Sure.
And we out.
Yeah. Don't stream. Bye. Oh, blessings.